All right, so we are going to continue with surface area, but now we're going to be doing surface area of solids. So what that means is our shapes are no longer going to be nets. They're actually going to be folded up into three-dimensional figures. And so we are going to be referring to this reference sheet. Okay, so if we look here, this is our surface area. We're going to be working with the total surface area. And so first, for figures, we have our prisms. Okay, and remember our prisms is when we have two, and I'm going to use the symbol for parallel, so two parallel bases. And in that case, we are going to be using this formula. S equals pH plus 2B. Okay, then we have our pyramids. Remember our pyramids, they're going to meet up at one point, and then they kind of go down. We can have a square pyramid, a triangular pyramid. They're all different. We have our cylinder that looks like this. And then we also have our cone. Okay, it looks something like this. And then we have our sphere. So it's a little shape that's something like that. All right, it's like a ball shape. So on here, we have all of our formulas. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and screenshot this, if you want to copy it down for it to help you, because you are going to need this for your lesson. Now, on here, there are some letters that we need to refer to or we need to go over. So we do see a capital P here. So when we have a capital P, that stands for perimeter. Perimeter. And that is the perimeter of the base. Okay, so whatever the base is, that is going to be the perimeter of the base. Okay, then we have the capital B. So we call this big B. That stands for the area of the base. Okay. And then we also have on here this little lowercase l for this one. The lowercase l stands for slant height. And once we get to those problems, we'll go ahead and go over what they look like. And then H is irregular height. You guys already know that. R stands for radius. You guys know that as well. So we've already covered the new letters that we haven't seen just yet. So let's go ahead and look at our first problem. So we start off by identifying what kind of figure this is. And so if you notice, we have this rectangular base, and then we have this parallel rectangular base. So we have two rectangular bases, which makes this a rectangular prism. Okay, so since this is a prism, that means we're going to have to use this first formula for prisms. Surface area equals pH plus 2B. So surface area equals pH plus 2B. Okay, so P stands for the perimeter of the base. So here's my base. This would be the perimeter of the base. So we would have to add up all the sides. So we have an 18 plus another 11. The opposite side would also be 18 plus another 11. Okay, which makes P equal to, if we add this all up, this is going to give me 58. And then our units are inches squared. Okay, so that's the capital P. Now we need to find the height. So how tall is our figure? That's what the height stands for. So if we look here, the height of our rectangular prism is going to be 5 inches. So here I'm going to put 5 inches. Now we're going to find the area of the base. So since our base is a rectangle, we're going to do base times height, which is 18 times 11. Okay, so big B stands for the area of the base. So 18 times 11 gives us 198 inches squared. Okay, so for our surface area from here, that means we're going to plug in everything that we know. So our surface area is going to be equal to our perimeter P is 58 times our height. You know our height is 5 inches. Plus 2 times B. Our base is 198, so 2 times 198. And that would give us the total surface area. So when we plug this in, we're going to do 58 times 5. plus 2 times 198, and that's going to give us 686 inches squared. All right, moving on to the next problem. All right, so this one we need to figure out what this is. We do see two triangles. This is commonly mistaken to be a pyramid, but it's not a pyramid because two parallel bases, okay? And the two parallel bases are triangles, okay? So this is a triangular prism. Okay, so this prism is not standing on its bases like this one was, okay? It is laying down on its side. So that's what makes things a little bit tricky. So on here, our formula, since this is a prism, is still going to be the same thing. Surface area equals PH plus 2B. Okay, and perimeter stands for the perimeter of the base. So if we look here, this side right here is going to be the exact same as this side over here, which is 8. So that means this is 8 plus 6 plus 10. That's how we're going to find the perimeter of our base. So 8 plus 6 plus 10 gives us a total of 24. And our units here are centimeters. Then our height. So we need to imagine if I were to take this triangular prism and stand it up like it's supposed to. So we stand it up on its base. This would be the height of the prism. So the height would be 17 centimeters. So we have to use our imagination a little bit. And then B, capital B, stands for the area of the base. So if this is my base, we need to multiply our base times our height. And remember, your base and your height need to make a right angle. So this is my right angle. So we're going to do 8 times 6. And since this is a triangle, we do have to divide that by 2. So 8 times 6 is 48. And then divided by 2 is going to give us 24. And then this is area, so it's going to be centimeters squared. All right, so now we're ready to find our surface area. So surface area is P, which is 24, times our height, which is 17, plus 2 times B. So 2 times 24. So let's go ahead and do 24 times 17 plus 2 times 24. And that is going to give us 456. And our units are going to be centimeters squared. Now this is surface area, so it is squared. All right, the next one. So now we have a pyramid. So we look at the base. The base is in the shape of a square. So this is going to be called a square pyramid. Pyramid. Right. So then from there, we're going to use our formula for a pyramid. So if we look here, our pyramid is 1/2 PL plus B. So 1/2 PL plus B. So we only have one base, so that's why it's just 1B. So perimeter, we start off with the perimeter of the base. So since this is a square pyramid, if this is 5.5, then this is also 5.5. So that means all the way around it is going to be 5.5, 5.5. So for perimeter, we're going to do 5.5. And since they're all the same measurement, we can just go ahead and multiply that times 4. So 5.5 times 4 is going to give us 22 meters. Okay. L stands for slant height. Okay, so not the height going straight up and down. It's going to be the slanted one. So that is my slanted one right here. That is, and then meters. And then B stands for the area of the base. So since this is a square, we're going to do base times height. So 5.5 times 5.5. which gives us 30.25. Okay, so now we're ready to plug this into our surface area formula. So surface area is equal to 1/2. Our perimeter we said was 22. Our slant height, L, is 5 plus B, and B is 30.25. You know what? I did not put the units here, meters. So when we put this in our calculator, we're going to take 1/2 of 22 times 5 and add it to 30.25, and that gives us 85.25 meters squared. All right, this next one. So we identify the shape. This is called a cylinder. And so the formula for a cylinder is going to be 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. So I'm going to put it here. Surface area equals 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. So our r stands for radius. So the radius of my circle there is 6 meters. H stands for height. So my height of my cylinder is 13 meters. And then go ahead and plug this into our surface area formula. So we have 2 pi, and then we know our radius here is 6 times our height, which is 13, plus 2 pi, and then our radius is squared. So our radius here is 6. So we're going to do 6 squared equals. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this in terms of pi. It leaves everything a lot neater. So I'm going to simplify this. If I have here 2 pi 6 times 13, what I'm going to do is 2 times 6 13, and that gives me a total of 156 plus 2 times pi times 6 squared. 6 squared is 36 times 2 is going to give me 72. And then I'm going to go ahead and add those together. I have 156 pi plus 72 pi, and that is going to give me 228 pi. And our units here are going to be meters squared. Okay, if they do want you to multiply it times pi, you can go ahead and multiply it times pi and get the decimal form. But it's a lot neater and more accurate if we leave it in terms of pi. All right, this next one, our shape here is a cone. So we look up the formula for a cone. So for a cone, our formula is pi RL plus pi r squared. So I'm going to write that down here. Pi RL plus pi r squared. And so our r stands for the radius of our cone. So my radius here is 12 inches. L stands for your slant height. So do you see how this does not go straight up and down? It goes up slanted. That is 37 inches. And then I believe that's all we need. So we're ready to plug these numbers in. We have pi. We know our radius is 12, so pi times 12. We know our slant height is 37 plus pi, and then our radius is going to be 12 again, and we're going to split it. Okay, so I'm going to also leave this one in terms of pi. I'm going to go ahead and multiply 12 times 37, and that gives me 444. So that's how many pi's we have here, plus 12 squared gives you 144. So when we take 444 and add it to 144, that it gives us 588 inches squared. Oh, I forgot the pi, I'm sorry. Oh, let me read that. 588 pi inches squared. All right, and the last one. So this is a sphere. Okay, your sphere is in the shape of a ball. So if we look at the formula for a sphere, we have here 4 pi r squared. That's the surface area. So here I'm going to write 4 pi r squared. And all we need for this is a radius. Now they tell us this is 24 and it's right here in the middle. So they're telling us that the whole diameter is 24, but that's not what we need. We just need the radius. So just half of it. So this is going to be 12 feet. So radius is 12 feet. So we're ready to plug that in. It is going to be 4 pi and then 12 squared. And I'm also going to leave this in terms of pi. So 4 times 12 squared gives us 576 pi. And then our units are going to be feet squared. And that's it. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and leave it in the comments. You can also go ahead and send us an email or swing by our office hours. Thank you. Bye.